Hey, Tom here today with the awesome
Cat!
So what is the convo? What is the convo?
Anybody who looks at the
like an eagle.
we're gonna expose some genius here.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait. I thought we were talking about some techie stuff.
I'm sitting down.
Are you ready? Ready? In 3, 2, 1.
The convo. The convo is just anything and everything about modern day entrepreneurs and the online space. Anything to do with the digital agency. I'm being thrown off because today is special, you know. Aside from these 3 pens in front of me, we have an audience.
Yeah, I can see
Hey, Raj is on the camera here. Show some of these guys. Hey, you can say hi, man. Alright, that's Casey on the other camera. Addy is on Facebook Live, and Nap is kind of preparing for his little segment later. We're going to talk about a few things today. It's going to be interesting, and we might engage with some of the guys in the audience if they have questions later down the line. And we're just going to go ahead and talk about it. Kat.
Yes.
Well, how are you, man? How are you? Everything good?
I'm great, yes. Projects are coming in. It's like the floodgates of heaven just poured down on me.
Wow.
And on us, on the team. But we're so excited to start everything and to finish everything.
Well, tell me about your team anyway. What are you guys? Because in our city, which is Davao City, by the way, where the president is coming from. Anyway, but a little bit of a plug. Kat, tell me what Alter is. Like, what do you guys do?
Alter is basically a team composed of designers and media people. So it started as a department in NLD or in CAR, wherein we do graphic design, videos, we edit videos, and then it gradually evolved into something of more on a branding agency or a brand agency. So we basically cater to all the aspects of a brand of a client or a company. So we are composed of 9 designers, and I'm really glad that they are so dynamic.
Well, so it's no longer a mystery. The whole prep of this show is by their team, and even this little graphic over here will give you a bit better copy. Just bring that in, and not on the live version, of course. Addy's on Facebook Live, and this is blowing my mind away. I hope people are watching this. Share this link to your friends. Anyway, little bit of a plug from Kat as to what they do. The guys that are handling the camera, Casey and Raj over in this room, and even the prep with the mics and everything, it's by Alter. So they do get their hands dirty real quick. They're in the thick of it. And I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Alter here. Those are not sound effects. There's actual clapping happening in the studio. By the way, aside from having an audience today, we have a new studio. It's a bigger space, and there's really a ton of light. Daylight. Tons of natural.
Best light.
Anyway, take it from her. I believe her. I listened to her. But anyway, Kat, so this is something interesting. This is something I realized that we all go through. It's called the liquid schedule fallacy. Wherein when you start to kind of see your week, so I don't know, how do you design your calendar anyway? Because in the branding space, ton of clients, ton of projects. How do you kind of manage your work week? Where do you start booking appointments? What day? What time? Tell me about that.
Usually my calendar is really not a very blank thing, if you can see it or if you view it. Mondays are usually reserved for calibration meetings with the team, with the leaders, and basically the dirty work really not really dirty, but the grind.
Just the hardcore, the hardcore stuff.
Grind starts really on Tuesday. And it goes all the way to Friday. So, it's composed of a bunch of things. It's really not that organized. It's composed of a mishmash of meetings, coaching sessions, one-on-one sessions, design work, team ideation activities, brainstorming. So it's really just it's kind of hard to plan out your calendar really cleanly or neatly because you also have to adjust to the schedules of the other leaders of the other departments that we collaborate with. So yeah, and talking about liquid.
Liquid schedule fallacy.
Yeah, the liquid schedule fallacy.
That's a term I came up with because like when you look at your calendar, look, it was only a few years ago when I started using a calendar. Honestly, I just kind of I'll remember that. I'll make sure that gets done.
Yeah.
You know, but when it gets like when all of them just start coming in and you have so many things to look after and a ton of responsibilities, it just makes sense to put it all in one place. And one of the places you can put it is a calendar. Google Calendar or iCal.
Yeah.
Or if you have extra dough, Fantastical. Or Addy, what do you use, Addy? Fantastical. Joe, what do you use?
For calendars?
Yeah, for calendars.
Yeah, Google Calendar and Convo.
Do you have a calendar client? Like, do you have Sunrise?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we use Sunrise as well. But anyway, these are apps that are help you get your calendar sorted. But like for the actual work days, I used to approach it in a really linear fashion. Like if somebody sets an appointment with me next week, I dunk it in on a Monday. And then when my Monday's full, I go Tuesday, Wednesday. But I learned this really neat trick. This is going to be cool, yo. Anyway, this neat trick when you start on a Wednesday.
Wow.
Yeah, it's super cool because you start in the middle and you fan out. Because Monday you're usually revving up for the week, and Friday you're kind of dying down from the week. So if you fill your day up like this and then you go, it's crazy, right? But if you go, it's nice. You kind of get to warm up, and it gets really crazy on hump day. They call it hump day. Wednesday you go, and then you start to die down. Ideally, it's what we're saying. Ideally, so you go, oh, when are you available next week? You go, oh, Wednesday. And then if your Wednesday's full, you either do Tuesday or Thursday. And if Tuesday and Thursday are full, then you have no more choice. You either go Monday or Friday. It then just becomes a game of what day would I rather sacrifice? A tough start or a tough end? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, okay, so the fallacy is this. The fallacy is this. When I look at my calendar, and this ever happened to you? Look at your calendar, it's empty.
Yeah.
And you're like,
and usually it's Thursday.
It's usually Thursday, and you're like, oh, thank God. Yes, finally, I can breathe, right?
But then something just like this.
So like there's it's a fallacy, right? No. So here's how do you go about that anyway? How do you go? Because we all deal with that situation. You get confronted by a day that seems empty, but then there's a landslide of things. How do you approach that?
Usually I really have a list. So a list is very helpful to me. Like I sometimes I use Wonderlist or just notes, post-it notes, or I really have my very, very handy dandy notebook with me always.
Where's the handy dandy notebook right now?
It's right there.
Right, can you grab that handy dandy notebook? I want to just try to show. Look, still the best way to go is like we have all these apps, but really the best way to go is analog like this. By the way, analog is another team you'll be hearing from later. But anyway, still a bit of a plug. Joe, I just plugged you in, Joe. Yeah. Anyway, okay. It's just, what is this? Like a standard sketch pad?
It's usually used for drawing, sketching. But for me, I find it very useful so that I can do both. It's like a really blank page, and it's very, what do you call this? Flexible for editing. So I have my list here. I have doodles here. And so what usually happens is I just have this on my table, and whatever comes in during the day, whatever urgent thing comes in, I just list it down so that I won't forget it because I'm a really forgetful person. And
right. I feel like forgetting, because I just watched Dory last night, by the way. It was an awesome movie. I think forgetting has a lot to do with the will, and the will has a lot to do with the heart, just as an equation. I think if you really don't want to forget, you will remember. That's what it is. But going through extra measures like this is awesome. Let me reel it back in though. Like, so we're talking about keeping a list. But how does that help you approach like a liquid schedule kind of a day?
So I have my list, and then I look at the things listed, of course, and then I usually think about when this particular task is due. So if it's due within the day, such as quotations, proposals, it's really urgent because yeah, it's usually more urgent than some other things that I do. So I usually do them. So one principle that I learned from you, Sir Tom, is that if a task can be done within 2 hours or in less than 2 hours, you have to do it right away and do not wait for tomorrow to do it. So that's usually my standard. So,
right, so like you move from procrastination to precrastination. You love that. Love that. So anyway, so Kat pretty much, instead of waiting around to do stuff, gets it done before it's even needed. That's precrastination. Okay, anyway, so that's a really good hack. Kind of look at what's urgent. My general, my hack for that when I have a liquid like schedule, and I kind of, you start to feel this sense of I don't know what to do now because it's empty. What do I do? So instead of just having a ton of random conversations around the office, walking around, doing non-important things, what I do is I look at my my calendar for the next day, which is supposed to be, the shoot for this is supposed to be tomorrow. So I'm like, oh, so my calendar's open today. I'm just going to move some of tomorrow to today, making my schedule tomorrow more liquid, which again is a fallacy because there are things that you react to, which is why when you have appointments, I kind of max it out to 3 in a day, like legit appointments, like proper appointments, only 3 per day maximum, and 3 is actually really pushing it. Like 2 really important ones, and the rest you react because whether you like it or not, on a daily basis, there are things you need to react to: emails, text messages, Viber, inquiries, Facebook, on Facebook and LinkedIn. So you just kind of have to space it out. Okay, so cool. Ton of life hacks there, man. Start from the middle, kind of look at what's urgent, or just basically move what's going to happen the next day into today because it's liquid. Yay! Look, how do you manage anyway? Look, I'm just gonna talk to you about project management. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yeah.
You good? You guys good?
Yes.
You have questions? Before we move on, like you can ask.
I think so far.
Don't be shy.
For you guys.
What's that? Later. Okay, all right. You're exciting me, Romeo. Anyway, his name is Romeo. Yo, show Romeo. See? Doesn't he look like a Romeo? He looks like a Romeo, doesn't he? Anyway. Okay, so just in a nutshell, what's your project management principle? Like, let's not talk about tools. We'll put a little bit of a list for project management tools.
Okay.
But let's talk about the primary principle that you do when you try to manage projects. How do you do it?
I have my team, and my vision for the team really is for them to become leaders also. And I've experienced it firsthand how you suddenly jump into a burning thing, like you're from this department and then now you're going to be here and you're going to lead the team, yay! So,
and you're handed active projects that have really tight deadlines or are like in the revision stage.
Yes.
So that's pretty nuts.
Yeah. So my point is, I've experienced it like that, and I've experienced growth from that. So what I want the team to learn is also that. So I wanted to grow as leaders also. So I have my team, so I really empower them to be leaders also. So when we have a ton of projects, I usually assess the project, what are the needed things for this project, and then I think of them, who are the people who are capable to help with this project, and then I just basically talk to them and then get them to help. But now, just yesterday we had an ideation activity for one of our projects, the chicken chicken product.
Little snippet here.
Chicken product.
Ideation is a really now like word. It's a very now word, and it's usually it's a better word for brainstorming. Well, ideation is kind of where you birth kind of concepts or fresh perspective on certain things. Okay, so you had that little activity yesterday.
Yeah, and the result was a ton of ideas that more than what I can think of. So I from that I learned that the team really has great brains, awesome brains. So right now we will have changes with the way we do or execute the projects. Like also it will have an effect to the way I manage it. So basically the whole team will be involved in every project here. So nawala ko, sir.
But anyway, as a principal, immediately you're saying that you need a team.
Yeah.
And projects could either run like on your own or with a team. But when it's a ton of projects, we're talking about the differentiator is that there's one project or there's a ton of projects. When there's a ton of projects, you need people who are empowered to take the kind of take the reign and take the lead when handling certain things, and they kind of just project manage the project managers, right? So that is really, really cool from an organizational structure perspective, and I love that the mindset is just be ready to lead. All right, in this team, all of your leaders. You're not a drone, right? Don't come in here expecting that you're just gonna wait for marching orders, right?
Yeah.
You need to kind of come in and go, all right, team, what are we supposed to do today? All right, and what are my marching orders? Are there any? If there's none, then okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, right? So to back that whole thing up, like you have a principle, you have a really tight philosophy, and you have a great team, and that's awesome. So is there a process that you use in general? Do you do agile? Do you do waterfall? Do you do? Well, what do you do?
Usually we use the concept of Scrum. So yeah, a project is usually broken down into smaller steps or smaller chapters.
Yeah.
User stories in a more technical sense. So usually what happens is per story there's an accountable person. So for example, I am accountable for all the proposals, for all the quotations. So it's already a part of the big chunk, which is the project. So it's not really the formal way of doing Scrum, but the concept of Scrum is there.
Nice.
And what I usually do is, we really stick to the analog way of doing Scrum, like the post-its.
Let me show you this. Like maybe this could be like KZ, the cameraman, took this down, but like it looks like this.
Yeah.
It looks like this, just a little prop.
We can show a picture.
Anyway, now it's on the floor. It's a dead project. We're no longer doing that project. It's done. Anyway. Okay, so all right, so Scrum is a book. There's a book about it written by it's on Amazon. You can buy it. Here's the link. Jeff Sutherland. Shout out to Jeff Sutherland. You are awesome. Putting in a book, giving us access to the whole thing. And there's a ton to talk about when you want to talk about Scrum. But in essence, if you really zoom out and say, okay, how does Scrum really work? It's just a really deductive approach to something so large. Breaking it down to tiny user stories, they call it, making them executable.
Yes.
Right? Like, for example, you're trying to build an app. When you're saying, can you build me an app? You're like, oh my God, sure, okay? But when you're saying, all right, today, Kat, you're going to have to just send this email. Then you go, oh, I can do that for sure. Easy. Not to say that it all leads up to the app, but you have to kind of break it down that way, so that you see the forward motion, you see releases and other things. Look, if you want to learn more about Scrum, we have a series of videos about it, and the link is at the bottom. if you want to access that. But I just wanted you to understand that great branding, which is what they do, or media work, can be backed up by a process like Scrum.
Yeah.
And even if there's like so combining that with the liquid schedule fallacy, it just kind of ties them together and creates a great parallel of things, because, you know, when you do Scrum, you kind of move it from to do to doing to done, right? So when your schedule is liquid and everything is just done, then you find something else to do from the next day and then just move it to doing.
Yes.
So kind of giving you more acceleration and velocity in your projects. Oh, dude. All right, so we have to wrap this up anyway, Kat. We have like 30 seconds literally left. You want to give them a review of what we just talked about, and then I'll back you up with what you forget. But you see, forgetting is right here. Right here, Kat. Right here. Let's do it.
Alright, so, Tom and Kat, again, hello. We just talked about the liquid schedule. So, liquid schedule is really a useful thing. It's precrastination, not procrastination.
Love that.
And also, we talked a little bit about how we do things in Outer. So, what we do, like how we do it, which is Scrum-like. So, it's really connected with what Tom said about the liquid schedule, when
Fallacy.
Liquid schedule fallacy, wherein we have stories scheduled for tomorrow, and then we have a liquid schedule for today. We can do it actually today. Precrastination.
That's right. And we also talked a little bit about Scrum and the way Kat makes sure that her team is empowered with the perspective of a leader when they come in. And you know, of course, it's a springboard. Like it's where it's all going to start from the perspective. And it's awesome, man. But look, we're out of time, and I'm out of coffee here, dude. And we need to trim this with scissors. So we got to go. Kat. High five it. All right. Thank you so much, man. See you on the next episode of the Convo. It's going to be analog, talking to 10X. They're going to talk about a ton of really cool ninja automation, internet marketing, life, whatever. Okay, that's going to be cool. Let's keep the conversation going. Hit the comments box at the bottom. Hit like. Smash that button. Just. I like this video. I like it. All right. Okay. Anyway, see you when I see you. See you on the next one. Hope you got a lot of value from this. Thank you. Convo out.